Erica, LaTonya,
Come on, Ed.
Daryl, and Jessica.
Check. 1, 2. Why that was doing? Check, check. I guess it wasn't on the first time.
Eddie, not
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com.
whoop
Hey,
whoop.
rest in peace to Margot Kidder.
Yes.
Best known for playing Lois Lane in Superman. She's passed away. Margot was only 69 years old, according to our friends over at TMZ. She died in her Montana home on Sunday. Her cause of death is still unknown. Now, Margot Kidder starred in the 1978 film Superman, along with the 3 sequels that came along. Now, over the years, she's played in several TV shows and movies. Margot Kidder, like I said, we remember her from the Superman. They did say that she had a very public battle with bipolar for years, and she's survived by her one daughter. We're talking, it's National Mental Health Awareness Month. We've been talking about mental health all year long. So rest in peace to Margot Kidder. For those that don't know, that's the guy, the only woman. Hey, Margot got that good.
I'm about to say, hold up. Did you
she-
start with the guy and then went to the only woman? Is that what you said?
Who did I say?
You said that's the guy.
Oh,
she
my
is
bad.
the only woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's the only woman that she had that good in Superman because she made Superman say, you know what, I don't even want to be Superman no more. I want to be with you.
I think it was between that, but then she came back and he was like, okay, I'll do it again.
Yeah, he got beat up. He had got beat up by them truck drivers, and he was like, nah, I'd rather be Superman again, shawty. And then he also, what he did too, remember he made the Earth, he spent the Earth around.
Uh-huh.
He flew around that planet and started
Super,
everything
super
back
fast.
over because Margot Kidder died. Yep.
Yeah, he
So,
wasn't playing.
Unfortunately, we've lost Christopher Reeve and we lost Margot Kidder. So rest in peace to those two. Joy A. Pearson is back.
whoop.
So what happened to that? What happened to
Good
Jessica?
morning. She went to the wrong station. You know, sometimes when you're dealing with PR people, they're not necessarily always communicating exactly what's going on. So I guess she asked for the address and she just looked us up. So we might need to fix that. But I could have sworn.
No,
we
it was
did.
in the email. I saw
I was
it.
gonna say I know, but she didn't get the email.
Well,
I'm just saying-
unfortunately, that's not our fault.
I wonder what she looked up to get that. But I guess we can ask her when she gets here.
Hey, if she make it.
I was gonna say then there's that.
Yeah, for real. You don't be waiting around for interviews. You better ask who is that? Who came in here? The senator? I mean,
I'm about to say right.
yeah.
Right.
Hey,
All
I'm
right,
downstairs.
Girl, but we gotta go.
Hey, there's some stuff you can do around here if you want to. As a matter of fact, you help Eddie clean up the studio if you
what
want.
you won't be doing
Won't be no interview.
is get interviewed by Michael and Joy. And look, definitely not Michael. He's like,
For real, I am out. I got stuff to do, Charlotte. Time to get to work somewhere.
Good
Hey,
morning, Bobby.
but we got an awesome show for you today. Erica is back from You First. What up, Erica?
Hey guys. Thank you again for having me.
How you been?
Pretty good. Busy.
Hey,
we have a big event coming up.
That ponytail always be on point, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
that good old braid. Mama, look at Aunt Virginia braid.
Aunt Virginia.
That's that Aunt Virginia braid right there.
Erica, this is your first time in our new home, or what do you think?
I love it. It's beautiful.
Have you been down to the Battery yet?
No, not yet, but I will when I leave.
Okay, we got some free coupons for breakfast
good.
in the morning.
Good, thank you.
Might not be over there, but we got some places where you get
go,
you a
okay.
sandwich or something if you want to. So shout out to you. Congratulations. And You First. Just
you.
remind everybody who Erica Wright is and who You First is.
All right. Erica Wright is the founder and CEO of You First Incorporated. We are a nonprofit organization. We support our homeless community, not just in Atlanta, but in California. We're getting ready to make a cross-country run May 20th, this Sunday.
Nice.
And I'll share that with you a little
Where you
bit.
going over to LA? You going to LA?
We're going to serve on Skid Row May 26th.
Okay.
May 26th.
We were out in LA was it last month, 2 months ago, something like that.
March.
And we were talking to Camille, and we were hanging out with Camille. We took Camille to dinner, and he was just talking about the homeless population out
It's
in LA.
intense.
It is crazy out there because we were walking up and down what's that, Hollywood Boulevard where the stars are.
Everywhere.
And I'm thinking, why does this look like New Orleans? This is
Exactly.
Hollywood.
Right,
Like I thought it was supposed to be prettier than that.
Exactly.
Because they can't contain it. And you mentioned Skid Row, and the crazy thing is they've actually made it okay
for them to
Yeah.
stay.
for them to stay at Skid Row. Me and Brenton helped the homeless a couple years ago, and I'll hook you up with that organization as well too. But it's just one of those things because it gets to the point where you want it to be better for them, but they gotta be able to understand how to get out of the
And
scenario.
they have to
Exactly.
have a place for them to go. So right now, what
Exactly.
I hear is that they don't have enough shelters. They don't have enough places to put them. So now, but not only that, they have the working poor who are living on the streets.
Right. And
People
that's the
who
scary
have jobs
part. Yeah.
who are sleeping in their cars.
That's
now.
the scary part. And when you how long you been doing this, Erica?
We're going into our 4th year in August,
Uh-huh.
and again, it's just been amazing. This year, our target goal is to give out over 100,000 hygiene kits to our homeless
Nice,
community.
nice.
inside.
We're talking about those hygiene
Okay.
kits because everybody can help out with
Yes,
those
yes,
hygiene
yes,
kits.
yes,
But
yes.
my question for you is, we talk about mental health
Yes.
and mental health issues because that now there's no face of mental health
Right,
anymore.
right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
You can't point somebody out. From your experience, if you had to look at a statistic, what would be the number of people that are in that situation because of mental health issues?
Well, as you know, I'm open to share my story. I suffer from bipolar and anxiety, and so one of the struggles that I went through in my homeless experience was not being able to get my medication. And so anyone who really is out on the streets at any given period of time suffer from any type of depression. So personally, with doing the work that we've been doing in 3 years, I would say at least 90%.
Oh, wow.
And I'm talking about some form of depression or bipolar, schizophrenia. It's something that they deal with because this is not the type of environment and conducive to what you're used to living in. So it's very real. It's very
Erica
real.
Wright, You First, hanging out with us in the building today. Hey, people may also remember you from cutting that Greenbrier, though, child. Yeah,
Shout out to Greenbrier.
you were dangerous with them clippers back in the day, I heard.
Matter of
Yeah,
fact, I
a
need
few
a cut
skills
right
left.
now.
Look at LaTonya. LaTonya out here.
I keep him in the car.
Hey, there you go. Hey,
I just need a little
we
shake
can
of
rent
the
out some
back.
space for you for
Hey.
about an hour. Get as many
Be all
cuts
right
as
with
you
me.
can.
I know that's
Erica
right.
Wright, You First is hanging out in the building with us today. Erica, you talked about you got some big events coming up,
Yes.
and we talk about those the kits. What were the name of them again? I almost
Hygiene.
forgot.
Love bags. We
Love
call them
bags, yes, the love
yes,
bags.
yes.
What's in the love bags?
Our simple love bags. It's just a washcloth, toothbrush, travel size toothpaste, and travel size soap. That's a simple kit. especially doing that amount. We're taking 10,000 with us on our journey.
Okay.
Sunday. We're leaving Sunday from Atlanta, and we're going to travel to California. We're going to stop in each state, and we're going to service in different shelters under the bridges.
Amen.
We're going to talk about mental illness. We're going to talk about the crisis in America. If we don't do something about our homeless crisis, we're going to have an epidemic.
Yeah, we definitely are. And define homelessness. What does homeless mean? Homelessness means.
It's not what people think. It's not just a man who's standing on the corner with a sign. It's young kids, college kids who's sleeping on the couch. If you don't have a lease with your name on it, typically you are homeless. Those who just find their experience in a shelter. Even though they have jobs, they're homeless. And there are people on programs after they go through certain experiences with getting their medicine and getting to vouchers to get in places. Technically, they're still homeless because it doesn't belong to them. So it's a wide spectrum.
How do you not like just want to take everybody that you help and then just bring them all into one place? Because I know certain people hit you harder emotionally than other people.
Yes.
How do you separate it, Erica?
It's very hard. And actually, I think I'm so blessed to be able to travel to see so much land. I was just talking about this yesterday with someone as I traveled from Nevada to California, and just to see all of the desert. And I'm thinking, we have the resources to be able to put people somewhere. I think what touched me the most is just the children who experience homelessness. And we also are working with our local schools to make sure that the kids have what they need, because a lot of kids go to school every day who are
Hungry.
homeless. And so what we want to make sure is that they have what they need.
Erica Wright in the building. You first. You can check her out. What's that website, Erica?
Project You First.
That's simple. Hey, it'd be kind of tough. It'd be kind of tough having that shelter out in the desert though, because they don't have that underground plumbing and that sewer and stuff.
Well,
so.
they building
about to
some,
say,
look, they
look,
building
that's
something out there.
I
I don't know what it is, but
Hey,
they building something.
they building them damn containers to put us in. That's what they doing. Hey, when we come back, we're gonna talk more with Erica Wright of You First and LaTonya in the building. She ain't trying to get a free haircut. That's what she trying to do. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Wake up. There you go. There go Mr. Fletcher. What up, boy?
Hello. Good morning.
Daryl look like he about to go host the damn Miss America pageant or something. Where Mrs. at? She not with you today?
She's at home today.
Okay. Go. You good over there? You need to see Joe or you good?
Oh, no, I'm straight.
I'm about to say go grab one of them ones.
I'm good because
Oh yeah, I need that paper.
Good morning. How are you? Well, right now I'm doing my ministry pretty much full time. So.
We're doing that at the bottom. This is for the guests.
What up, homie? What up, Porter? John. Hey, Mike. What up, DJ Spoon? Hey, Mommy. What up, Ahmad? Hey, Reed. Hey, Cyrus.
Who won that game last night?
Golden State.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Golden State. Artists started dropping real quick in the beginning of the first quarter.
Oh, they won by 36.
What can you really do?
Joistik.
You got Iguodala,
You can't.
Clay,
You can't do that.
Curry, Durant,
Beat it up.
You can't do
and
that.
you got Green. What can you really do? That's like it's like you bring all your partners from from the school in the rec league. You go to like a like a high school game.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
So to the Y.
What up, Vincent? Good morning. YouFirst.org. So love bags include toothpaste, soap, a washcloth, trap size toothpaste.
And then like disposable wipes.
We anything that we can get, we'll give out. But this is like a huge run, so I want to make sure everybody had the same thing. Good morning, Franklin. Cheaper to buy in bulk, so we've been going to Amazon buying toothbrushes and trap size 1,500, almost 2,000 in California already in storage. So,
Good.
yeah.
So
And it happened in
whatever
like a
you end
month.
up using on the way over, at least you know you'll still have supply when you get there.
Exactly. We're gonna leave. We're gonna start here. We're gonna leave from Gateway. We're gonna leave about 1,000 bags here in Atlanta before we leave. So.
Hey, so Daryl asked me where I'm from. I said I'm from here, born and raised. Like, what high school you go to?
All right. All right. Got you.
You're not from here, partner. You're not from here. No, I went to Creekside High School. I was born and raised in Georgia, but I'm not from Atlanta.
Oh.
Can't claim Atlanta, right? Right? Gotta claim what? Peachtree City.
Right. From Peachtree City. You
No,
can't
no,
vote.
Not
You
at
can't
all.
vote for
You gotta be
Keisha.
born, raised.
Couldn't vote.
Grady baby.
What high school you went to? I went to.
I was born here, but I was a Grady baby.
Where were you born?
St. Joseph.
That works.
Yeah, that works.
Where's Northside?
It's say anything.
That's not like really a choice.
It's right there. It's like Northside right here and St. Joseph
Northside,
right here.
yeah, it's over there near 400.
You ready, Joy?
Each other.
Michael and Joy.
God's plan.
Good morning. Michael and Joy. Is website. Why sound like that?
I'm about to say, why is somebody else still talking?
Oh, okay. That's why I sound like that. Of course. Hey, got an awesome show for you today. Author Daryl Fletcher is in the building today. As a matter of fact, today's show is being brought to you by Mr. Daryl Fletcher. He got a couple events coming up. He talking about love.
I'm like, yo,
And staying in love.
I got about 15 more pages in that book.
Oh, you
I'm
been
exci-
checking
I'm
that
really,
book
really
out.
excited.
Hey, Erica from You First is hanging out with us today. Also, we're gonna be talking to author Miss LaTonya L. Turner. She's got a new book, Your Startup Business Success Guide. Also, we're gonna play some Man How Time Flies. It was pretty fun yesterday. We got some people involved in the game yesterday. And
Looking forward
shout out
to
to our
it.
poll question from last week about do you make your bed up before you leave the office, before you leave home, or before
yes.
you
What was this?
come back? 70% of people said that they make their beds up before they leave the house.
Oh, yeah, that's not, I'm not in that.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
not.
You weren't on that side.
Definitely not in that
Hey,
percentage.
today is the 15th of May, though, 2018.
And on this day, it is National Nylon Stocking Day. I don't know why. Many may not remember ever hearing the term nylon stockings, varying in color, design, and transparency. A nylon stocking, also known as hose, is close-fitting, variously elastic garment worn the same as socks or tights. The other funny thing is they actually went on sale for the first time in the United States on this day in 1940. The only thing that I remember about nylon stockings is the lady from Mama's Family who never got them all the way past her knees. They were rolled down right underneath her ankle.
I used to always wonder why my mama used to wash them. Like, I guess you couldn't put them in the wash machine,
I was gonna
and they used to
say
hang
no.
up in the bathroom. Yeah, like
What she had, the whole joist of the knee.
the whole joints. Like, it came all the way
I'm about
up
to say,
here.
look, they are bringing them back. I mean, truth be told, you know what I mean? Like, they
And
do
then my
come
mama
in
used to
handy.
say, Lil Mike, because you used to call me Lil Mike, grab me my fingernail polish, the clear.
Yeah.
Cause she get that run in that jump, boy. You gotta put that scarlet right there to stop him from running.
You gotta get it.
And then next thing you know, hold on, last one.
Okay, thank
The
you.
the wave caps. Those were the original wave caps.
Yes.
Look at Daryl over there.
Yep.
Daryl like, yep. You put it,
Yep. Okay.
Mama.
all right. I was like, yeah, I don't know much about that part.
Mama,
Yep.
why my head smell like feet?
You didn't watch it.
Right. Hey, author LaTonya Turner's in the building. Good morning, Miss
Good
LaTonya.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You did you
Yes,
cool off?
ma'am.
You good now?
I'm good.
Were you nervous? Is that what it was?
No,
Oh, okay. Don't lie. You
hot?
can tell us now.
I'm going through menopause.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard that plenty
You
of
got your
times in
own-
my
Your
household.
own personal
so.
summer going on.
yes.
Well, welcome to the
tell you.
show. You
Thank
are
you, thank
originally
you.
from Georgia.
Yes, I am
You-
a Georgia Peach.
Georgia Peach. So were you born at Grady or did you
Yes,
go to
I
another?
was
Oh, you
born
were born
at
at Grady?
Grady.
I was
Nice.
like, what high school?
Stone Mountain High.
Oh, never
Yeah, they
mind.
moved out to the they
I
moved
was saying,
out.
Baba got a little change.
Yeah, moved out to the east side. There they go. Now, LaTonya, tell us about yourself. We're going to talk about your book, but we want to know the LaTonya before she became an author.
I was born and raised here. I'm raised by a single parent. My mother was 40 years breast cancer survivor.
Oh, amen.
I am the youngest of her seven siblings.
Oh, nice.
All my family is here. I put myself through school. I raised 3 kids. I have 2 kids in college at the same time at Alabama A&M.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I have one that she currently lives in Washington, D.C. and going to school to be a paralegal.
Oh,
Come
nice.
through,
Listen to your
LaTonya.
baby.
All right. Happy Mother's Day to
Yes.
you.
You
Thank
did an
you,
awesome
thank you.
job.
Thank
You did an
you,
awesome
thank
job.
you,
Yeah.
So
thank
you are one of 7? Is that
I
what you
am
said?
one of 7.
What that household was like? I know y'all used to
I know.
fight over
Like,
stuff.
where were you? Were you in the middle somewhere?
I'm at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I am the last child.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So you got all the special attention and got beat up at the same
I was
time.
gonna say, look, well, who knows the age difference? She might have been the only one in the house, like my daddy. Everybody was gone,
Was gone
by
by
the time
then,
he got-
right.
Well, actually, when I came, it was just me, my baby brother who passed away, and one of my younger sisters, and everybody else was grown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So yeah,
Sorry to
I'm
hear
at the
that.
bottom.
You at the
Yeah.
bottom, and you talk about your
She ain't
family.
had to share
Amazing,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing how you got some, your kids out there doing great things.
Yeah.
What was it that you instilled in them? Because yesterday we were speaking about how we try to use our parents' principles, but they don't work in 2018
Not all
for
of
some families.
Well, I always instilled in my children to go out and do your best because I didn't have that mother and father in the household. My dad died when I was very young, so my mother she knew about just going to work in that survivor mode. So what I did is I learned that survivor mode, but also learned, okay, if you want something, you got to work for it. You can't just depend on mama and daddy and sister and brother, because I didn't never shop. I didn't have to shop. I didn't go out and buy clothes. I didn't have to go buy grocery because my sisters, they did that for me. So I was kind of like the spoiled child, got everything. But when I reached the age 35, 40, it came to me that I need to be me. And so I created my own business. I started helping people with their mortgages and their insurance and their taxes and all of that. And so I said, you know what? I want something that I can leave a legacy for my children, because
Amen.
that wasn't passed down to me. And I think we're missing that in our community, that you can go out here and you can have your own. You don't have to go out here and steal. You don't have to go out here and rob for $5. Go out here, get a lawnmower service or something.
Get some clippers. Cut some
Something.
Right.
You know, because my son, he created my website. He created my logo. It ain't never been to art school. And he just sat down, we was talking, and he was like, Mom, I want to do something with my life. My daughter, she was in the streets. She wanted the streets. I prayed in the closet night after night because I didn't know where my child was. And as a single parent, you go through so many trials and tribulations. Try to not get just the Nike shoes, but go out here and get some kids, because
Right.
you want your kids to go to school and for them not to be talked about, not them to be bullied. And I did that. I made tremendous sacrifice
There you
for
go.
my children.
LaTonya, how important is it for the parents to be the example? Because a lot of times when you speak to youth in the schools, you go out to the schools and you ask them about role models and stuff like that, they always bring up these celebrities and entertainers and basketball players. Don't you think that when your kids hear a role model, that mom and dad should come
be
first?
at least first.
Yes, because my daughter right now, she calls my business partner, and she's home now from school, and she was like, Mom, I can talk to you, even though we may not see eye to eye, but she knows she can call me on the phone. She can have her friends to call me, because it's so important for them to have somebody, not saying we have to have $1 million, but somebody to listen. And that is so key, because last week the governor signed into law the National Single Parent Day, which Ronald Reagan signed into law back in 1983. And I'm a part of that organization. And she found out that it is so kids parents do not listen.
That's right.
And I am one of them parents. I will listen to my child and see, and can we
Amen.
come up with a strategy? And that's what I tell parents. Listen to your kids. They may be acting out, but find out the reason why.
Amen.
It's always that bottom line that you got to get to that child and say, how's your day? What can I do? Who do I need to talk to? Because
Right.
it's so many resources that we as young people do not tap into. And I
true.
think that is so important for us to do that, because
Very.
we are losing them. They're going to jail because they are smart, they are
right.
talented, they are so creative.
Yes.
But I want to channel that into kids, because this book, my son, is only 88 pages long, and it's simple read.
LaTonya
Amen.
Turner is hanging out with us.
Whoop, whoop.
Somebody turned the heat on in here, boy.
Shout out to your startup business success guide by
Shout-
LaTonya L. Turner.
Shout out to you, LaTonya. What's your, like, when you got out of high school, and what did you do? Because you look like you might have worked in a hotel or something. Like you ran a housekeeping department or something.
No,
like,
actually, I started out at DeKalb Technical College, and I had all my stuff in my hand, and I was standing in line, and the first thing that I did was, let me just go in accounting.
Okay.
And I really don't like accounting. I do not. But I said, you know what? People told me it's going to make me some money.
And
Well,
then that's all you
and
needed.
that's what,
You
right,
had them
exactly.
kids.
That's all I needed. That's all
We
I
gonna
needed.
work these numbers out today, baby.
But that didn't happen, because now it's like I went to school, I got a master's in accounting and finance, and I'm running away from it because that's not my passion anymore.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
my
there it is.
passion is to help people understand their business and get their business on the right track.
Amen.
Because, I mean, yes, we need numbers, but if you don't have the fundamentals,
That's right.
everything else is
That's
not
right.
it's not important.
Exactly.
LaTonya, you said believe in yourself so others believe in you too, because it's hard for other people to be like, oh yeah, I rock with Erica from
Yeah.
you first,
Right.
but if Erica don't believe in what she's
That's
doing,
right.
right?
Exactly.
That's right.
And
We
that-
already
and
know
I
she
created
do.
that quote.
Right.
Yeah, I came up with that quote when I wrote the book, because I said I have to believe in myself first.
Amen.
Because I have 3 kids that look up to me, call me for everything. My son, when he was in college in Texas, he was like, Mom, I didn't want to bother you, but I told him a closed mouth don't get fed.
Not
But
at
now
all.
it's always open.
Right.
So, but it's a good thing, because we need to listen.
Yeah,
We
that's
got to know that, we are there and they need that support. Because if we
Amen.
don't have the support, we got a lot of kids that's lost
right, that's right.
and homeless.
That's right.
There you go. Hey, LaTonya L. Turner is hanging out with us today. Her new book, Your Startup Business Success Guide. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to dive into there, pull out some of her nuggets outside of that book. Hey, shout out to our guy, Keith Robinson.
Hey,
AKA
the Green Power
The
Ranger.
Green Power Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, come
they
through,
caught
Keith.
Keith Robinson the other day on BBC. Well, because Meghan Markle is his former co-star, and he has dished the dirt on kissing the beautiful actress while filming a TV pilot about 10 years ago. Now, Keith Robinson, who played her on-screen husband in a little-known U.S. police drama called The Apostle, shared bedroom scenes with the beautiful bride-to-be and called Harry a lucky man. Now, speaking to the BBC Radio 5 on Monday, the American actor also said that she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, so it wasn't hard to get into plan for her to play my wife. She was very accommodating, which is what you want when you're in an intimate quarters with such a beautiful woman in the bedroom, doing what TV husband and wives do. Go on, Keith Robinson.
Well, about that,
Well, just
y'all sound like the choir in the background.
but hold on, no, that was 10 years ago. She ain't the same 10 years ago today.
I was gonna say, well, she engaged. She is up now.
No, I'm saying she's more seasoned now.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
see what
well.
Harry did? He put a ring on it, didn't he?
That was my point.
Hey, when we come back, Daryl Fletcher is in the building. We're going to talk about that love with Meghan Markle and Harry. What's his last name? Prince Harry.
I was gonna
I don't
say
even
Harry.
know. What are their last name? I
Look,
don't even know their last
the
name.
redhead.
Right, exactly.
That's all I know.
Hey, we'll be right back. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Power 108.9. Wake
Lego-
up.
punishment.
I know.
And
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Today's show is being brought to you by our very own Mr. Daryl Fletcher. He's hanging out with us today. Author, loves guy. We're going to talk about Meghan Markle. We'll talk about that special he watched on Lifetime last night.
I didn't watch the special. My wife watched.
I was over there talking about Meghan Joy, and he over there doing like this. Yes. He knew everything.
I know exactly.
We're going to holler at
happened
Daryl.
with
Hey, if you
Meghan.
got a birthday today, happy birthday to you. And here are some celebrities that share your same birthday with you. Happy birthday to Andy Murray. He tennis player dude. He's 31 years old today. Also, happy birthday to Ray Lewis. He's celebrating a birthday
That's
today.
the boxer? No, the football player.
Yes.
The one that got signed.
Former Dallas Cowboy Emmitt Smith turns 49 years old today. Ryan Leaf is 42 years old today. He's one of the biggest busts. I think Ryan Leaf was the quarterback that got drafted first before Peyton Manning back in the day. Ryan is 42 years old today. Our very own Atlanta Brave, Mr. John Smoltz, turns 51 years old today. ESPN guy Dan Patrick turns 62 years old today. And also got to say happy birthday to George Brett, former Dodger, who turned 65 years old today, and Butter B. Rocker celebrating a birthday today.
But what up? Happy birthday to my homegirl from VA. Shout out to Miss Tiffany Velez Rogers, and a happy belated birthday to our homeboy Jay Ortiz,
What up,
Nick
Jay?
Morant, Justin, and Miss Amira Simmons. Happy birthday, guys!
Jay got that calendar.
Jay got that calendar.
Boy, that
he came
calendar.
through with some new photos too. I was like, okay, hold up.
Right. Shout out to you, Jay.
Congratulations. I can look.
Hey, Daryl Fletcher's in the building today. What up, Mr. Fletcher?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? What's
Man,
going on with you, Michael?
We are awesome. How was that Lifetime special with Megan and them?
I'm telling you, man, I didn't watch the Lifetime special. I walked in the room. My wife was watching it. When I found out what she was watching, I was like, you know what? I was not in the mood. Yeah, I was not in the mood to watch that. So I went downstairs and watched something else. But,
Okay.
but the thing about it is, she began to tell me about the story and how they met and all the different things. And so sometimes we use those things for our case studies and
There you
certain
go.
Okay.
things when we're doing coaching sessions, because especially real life situations, because art mimics life and life mimics art, and so all the time we want to pay attention to those things as well.
And that's what I want to ask you about. Why do you think America or the world, I think it's really just Americans, are so captivated by this love story between Lil Harry and Meghan?
I mean, America is captivated by not only love story, but they're captivated by fantasy. And so the royal family kind of represents that fantasy. You know, I was just doing a show a couple of days ago, and a young lady she says, I don't read my kids bedtime stories. I don't read them fantasy stories, because what happens in the relationship is we set ourselves up for failure, having that mindset that this has to be a fantasy. This has to be so romantic. And we don't know how to create our own stories. And so when our own lives don't line up or, in alignment with the fantasy, then we put the blame on that other person. Actually, Joe was talking about, she was reading my book. I actually talk about that in the book, where we create this just mindset of like, oh, it has to be like this, or it has to be like this. And here's the thing about fantasy. Fantasies are not real, number one. Number two, and happily ever after is never coming, because when they talk about Cinderella, right? They ain't talking about Cinderella having to wash dishes. They ain't talking about Cinderella maybe getting a little weight on. They're not talking about Prince Charming losing his job. They ain't talking about none of that stuff. They talking about, oh, he put on the slipper and they live happily ever
I'm about
after.
to say, she was washing some dishes before then, though. Hold up, she was.
Okay, she was. But the thing about it is, we have had this mindset that as soon as I meet this person is gonna make my life happy, and we're gonna live happily ever after. No such thing. You're gonna have to put in the work in order to make that relationship work.
Amen.
Hey, as soon as the prince tapped Cinderella on the shoulder, it was like, hey, baby, can you call Georgia Power? See how much we can put on this light bill? Because they like your voice better than mine. Hey, Daryl Fletcher's hanging out with us today, author of several books talking about love. How did you become an expert in this game, Daryl?
Well, number one is the study of it's the study of
I
human
know
behavior.
Eddie messing us up.
Yeah.
Come on in.
The
Hurry
study of
up.
human behavior. So with the study of human behavior, basically, I went to school for, my degree is in business administration.
Okay.
And so, but then my minor is in marketing. And a part of that marketing degree, we would study different things about people. We would study different things, how people worked and how people just thought about stuff, you know, in order to make them buy. And then from there, I went into advertising. And from advertising, I went into working in a nonprofit. I was a youth pastor for a church. And so getting in the ability to work with parents and their kids, getting the ability to work with parents sometimes, just all these different things, I really began to discover that people are hurting. And, you know, they're hurting because past life.
Yes.
They're hurting because of what they experienced from childhood. They're hurting from what somebody told them that was really just wrong.
Right.
And then not only my own experiences, where I was married for 16 years, have 4 beautiful children. Then I went through a divorce, and then so I'm sitting around. What makes a good relationship? And so through my practice, you know, I interviewed over 100 couples and just started with that question: what makes a good relationship? And that's how we began to write the book. And the book actually started as my healing journal for myself for my 16 years of marriage, just asking myself, because my pastor told me, he was like, "Yo, you got a problem with commitment and you lack vulnerability." I'm like, wait a second, dude. I was just married for 16 years. How could I lack commitment and vulnerability? He said, just because you were in the marriage doesn't mean that you were present in the marriage. And so when I looked at my patterns that I was going through, you know, I just began to see a certain pattern of, you know what, that was a definition of lack of commitment. Now, my lack of commitment came from something else. And so my lack of commitment was abandonment.
Okay.
And so when people have abandonment issues, there's 2 things that happen. They either become extra clingy, or they become what we call Stonewall Jackson, where
Daryl,
they
you
build
are
walls
not going
around
to talk
them.
about me.
That's right. That's right.
Right now.
And so within that, all of that study, I began to identify some of the, like, I was the dude that called women crazy, right? So I was like, man, all women are crazy. And what I realized, not all women are crazy, that Daryl, you are a liar. And what is happening is you're perpetuating their wounds.
right.
They can't never heal if you keep on stabbing them in that same
that's
wound.
good. So you
So
just
the reason
keep
why they
poking the
acting like
bear.
that is because you keep on hitting that wound. Stop hitting that wound. And it starts by you addressing some of the issues inside of you.
Daryl Fletcher Speaks is the website, DarylFletcherSpeaks.com. You can check him out. You can also check him out with us on Michael and Joy, Power 108.9.
Yes, sir.
Daryl, all the ladies being here be like,
Just because you were in the marriage
Preach,
doesn't mean you
Pastor.
were in the marriage.
Hey, with first page I go to when I visit your website, it says, why hire Daryl Fletcher? Why should folks hire you, Mr. Fletcher?
Well, because here's the number one reason why people should hire me. Because most people think they're communicating when they're actually just talking. And I really show people how to make the connection of your communication, because communication touches every area of your life. Touches your family, touches your finances, touches your friends, touches all of those particular areas in your relationships. And like I said, many people think that they're actually communicating when they're actually just talking. And so what I do is I help people and I show people how to actually communicate and bring that connection piece, because it's through the filter that which we call empathy. And so it's easy to tell somebody to be empathetic, but the thing about it is, just because in our modern day society most people don't know how to be empathetic, and that's what we teach people. We teach people through empathetic communication skills on how to connect. And when you connect in your relationship, when you connect in your business, when you connect on your job, your productivity goes higher, better, your performance is better, and more money gets into your pocket. So if that's
More
that
money?
if that's what you want to get into, holler at your boy Daryl Fletcher.
There you go.
That's why you should hire
DarylFletcherSpeaks.com.
Daryl L. Fletcher.
Hey, Daryl Fletcher's going to be hanging out with us for the rest of the show, obviously, because the show is being brought to you by Mr. Fletcher today.
Yes,
Visit the
sir.
website, DarylFletcherSpeaks.com. Jessica made it to the building. Wondering why ain't nobody opening the door at Sensation Station.
Well,
we
what
ain't
had
there.
happened was,
We are
I was
no
like,
longer there.
hold on, where's she at? I don't even know where them signs is
Hey,
at no more.
also today is the 15th of May, 2018. We're going to talk about that wedding coming up, and I know Joy got some tips too.
And on this day in 1942, gasoline rationing began in the U.S. The limit was 3 gallons a week for non-essential vehicles. Yikes.
3 gallons.
I was gonna say, well, we ain't going far with that.
There's
You
no
better
show
pull out
this
the
week.
mic.
That's around the corner.
Hey, can we reschedule this show?
I was like, no, it is supposed to rain on.
Daryl, you got a couple of books out right now. Tell the people about the books that you got out.
My
right
latest
now.
ebook is called The Cost of Poor Communication. You can go to DarylFletcherSpeaks.com and get actually a free copy of that ebook. We also have the upcoming book, which is Don't Just Talk, Connect, where it just really gives you some practical insight on how to be successful in your communication and increase, your profits, increase your performance, and just increase that connection in your relationship.
Now, we gave everybody a pen and piece of paper. There's a reason why we did that for our guest today, because today we're going to play part 2 of a game we created called Man, How Time Flies. And what happens is I got 3 songs. I'll give you the song, and what we want you to do is guess the year that the song came out.
I
And
think
the
I'm
reason
gonna
why
win
we're
this
doing
one.
that because we have a millennial in the building right now, and he is in charge. He is the director of program engineering. Eddie, he's a
You don't even
millennial.
know his title.
So what happens is, because sometimes we forget how long ago stuff was, because the idea came, I was riding in a car. You know how the car puts the year of the song? And I saw the year. I was like, man, that's been 30 years ago. So we decided to make a game to see how the millennials perceive music from back in the day. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a clip of the song. Everybody knows the song, and what we want you to do is write down the year of the song, all right? Cool. Here's the first one. We're going to go with Old School Classic. Once that commercial play, hold on one second. Y'all know how YouTube good. And y'all only get 30 seconds because y'all know Zuckerberg be tripping.
I know he be tripping.
So it's a delay in this camera.
You just want the year, right?
We just need the year. Just listen to the record for a minute. Little Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's September.
Give me that marker or the highlighter or something.
All right. That is September by the Earth, Wind, and Fire. So, Eddie, shout out to you, Eddie. Eddie, in what year, without going over, y'all, in what year do you think this record came out? 1970. All right, Mr. Fletcher.
78.
78. Erica.
78.
78. Who else we got out there? LaTonya.
I said 70-something.
70 something. You are eliminated from the game.
Somebody
Jessica,
online.
what about you?
I said 1975.
75. And the
Michael Bibby says 74.
74. Thank you, Mike. And the correct answer is 1978. So congratulations to Daryl.
There it is. That's my group right there.
About that.
Eddie said 8 years prior to that. Like, so so shout out to you.
Hey,
Bless his
anytime a
heart.
millennial hears live instruments, they think 69, 70, 72, somewhere around up in there. They're
That
like,
makes sense.
you know what I'm saying? Because they really not losing a whole
Yeah,
lot.
they're
of-
really not listening. All right, here's our next song. Right now, the seasoned people are in the lead, 1-0. Here's our second song.
She said 70 something.
Oh, I
I was like, well, that's Chris Brown. So
This is second record. It's called Run It by the Chris Brown. What year did Run It debut?
shucks.
All right.
Man,
So
I'm not
we
doing
are
that.
going to start with Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie, what year did the record Run It come out? 06. Mr. Fletcher,
I got dang, yeah, mine is too early.
come on.
02.
02,
Because, yeah,
okay.
he too. Yeah,
You got to think about that.
08.
What about you, Miss Erica?
I said 12.
2012. All right. Miss LaTonya.
I said 2006.
2006.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
might
And
be-
finally, Miss Jessica Cross, what did you say? 05. And for those that said 2005, you are correct. So great job. Great job.
2005 was a
Mike
rough year. I
said
wasn't really
07.
listening to it.
2005 was a whole rough year.
Yeah,
All
it was a rough year.
365
You know
was
what
a
I'm
rough
saying?
year.
It was a rough year. It was a rough
All right,
year
so
for
this is
the
the
boys.
last one. The season people are crushing you today, Eddie. I don't know what to say. All right, so we got one more song to see if you can get on the board today, Eddie. Here we go, and this is the last one.
I know this one right
All
here.
right, hold on. Let it.
Y'all over here cheating.
I bet you don't know what year that commercial came out.
2018.
All right, here's our second song. The third and final song, Weak by SWV.
Oh.
Sisters with Voices. What
right.
year did this record come out?
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh.
All right, yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, so Eddie, we're going to put you in the game today. What year do you think the record Weak by SWV came out? 1996. All right, Mr. Fletcher.
I got. I was stuck, but I think it's 92 or 93. 92.
You got to pick one.
92. I'm gonna go with 92.
92.
Yeah.
Erica.
2001.
2001.
Child, no.
Right. All right.
1995.
Okay.
All right, Miss LaTonya.
I said 1992.
92. And Miss Jessica. 96.
Nah.
If you
I
said
95.
1992, you are correct. So it was a sweep today by the seasonal people.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, hold up. 05 was a bad year, but what about 92?
Oh, 92. Hey, 92. I got them driver's license. I had a Buick Regal with a white rag top. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was bumping SWV. Shoot, I was a junior in high school. We was about that business. You know what I'm saying?
that
Hey,
just
that
goes
was the
to-
song that you pull up on, be like, "Hey, girl, you making me weak." You know what I'm saying?
Daryl Fletcher. Today's show is brought to you by Daryl Fletcher. Hey, when we come back, we got more. Jessica made it from Buckhead. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Power 108.9. Wake up.
What day is it? Have they picked it yet?
It's on.
Which one mine? Oh, that's mine up there.
March 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, March 21st. Yeah, because it was already legal in Colorado.
We're back, y'all.
About to say, Daryl, where the download e-guide at? I'm over here like, y'all know y'all see me like, hold on, where it at? I mean, I see paycheck versus purpose, the power of the 3 M's.
You should go to it's on the homepage.
Oh, I'm like,
That's
hold
what
up.
she's
What?
good at.
It's on the homepage.
I just say, where that at? I'm gonna send you one of these
Yeah,
testimonials.
the other
I
one
was
is
like, hold up. I need that.
the 10 barriers to communication. You click on that and you'll get
Oh, okay.
audio download
I
as
just
well.
say,
That's powerful stuff.
which one?
The
10 barriers.
The 10 barriers of communication, because we subconsciously do it all the time, and one of the things
don't realize.
that we do is the barriers of communication, especially when you're listening, is it's called
We're back there.
huh?
We back.
Oh.
Oh, his mic was on, so he was talking in there.
Somebody heard him.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Today's show is being brought to you by Mr. Daryl Fletcher. DarylFletcherSpeaks.com is the website. Got a bunch of authors in the building today. Shout out to Miss LaTonya Turner. Her book starred Your Startup Business Success Guide. Also, Erica Wright is in the building. And we're going to get a chance to talk to Miss Jessica Cross and see what she's been up to. Hey, did you know that the World Health Organization wants to eliminate artificial trans fats from the global food supply and has a step-by-step strategy on how to do it in 2023? Now, artificial trans fats and trans fatty acids are made when vegetable oil hardens in a process called hydrogenation. Yeah, that word. Those hydrogenated fats are often used in processed foods and baked goods because they don't spoil as fast as other fats. So what they are doing at the WHO is say, you know what, we're going to get all of that eliminated by 2023. And it is also is very popular for type 2 diabetes. It's a lot of reasons why people come down with type 2 diabetes, along with heart disease and stroke and things like that. So shout out to the World Health Organization for doing their thing over there. Daryl Fletcher Speaks is in the building, and look who made it. She's in the building. Jessica Cross made it. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing fine.
Welcome to, we've had you on the show before, right?
Yes, you
Yeah,
have.
we have. I
Yeah.
thought so when I was reading. I was like, this is deja vu. I seem like I've read this bio before, and I have. Welcome back, sis.
Thank you.
Now, how did you get the Buckhead? That's what we want to know.
Whoop, whoop.
It's a long story.
We got time. This is a long segment right here. No, I'm just teasing you.
I don't wanna
I'm just
care.
teasing you. Cross Lines is the book. Jessica Cross. Where are you from originally, Jessica,
I'm
for those
originally
that
from
don't know?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, you from the country, shout it.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm from the country, but I've been up here in Atlanta for about 16 years now.
Oh, so you went to high school here?
No.
Oh, I thought you were younger than that. That was like a compliment. That was so nice of you. You see how I threw her the softball? Other hand?
She didn't know how to handle
She didn't catch that exactly. Now, how did a young lady from Birmingham, Alabama, get to ATL, Georgia?
I wanted a different change of scenery. I wanted something different for my life. And I came up here. I went to school. I became a teacher. And now I'm a writer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come on, talk about that teacher experience.
The teaching experience was very nice. I love the kids. I love being in the classroom and everything. But I decided to take on writing as my career right now because I decided to go a different route.
Mm-hmm. And I just mentioned the World Health Organization looking to do away with trans fat over the next couple of years. And they talk about one of the causes of strokes has to pertain to that. And you're actually a stroke victim, right?
I'm a stroke survivor.
Survivor. You're right. I'm sorry about that. Yep.
I'm a stroke survivor. A lot of things that have changed in my life since I've had the stroke. I've changed the way I eat. With the way I eat, I changed a healthy lifestyle, and I changed the way that I eat. A healthy lifestyle meaning I do my exercises every day, yoga every day, and my eating habits. I'm now, instead of going for barbecue, you know what I'm saying, I probably will go for a salmon or something like that.
Yeah.
Just more conscious
Yeah,
of
just
your,
more
of your
conscious
eating
of,
habits.
yeah.
And the book, Cross Lines. Let's talk about the book.
Cross Lines. Let's talk about the book. Cross Lines, what lies bare within the heart. I came across this book when, after my healing process of me having a stroke, I was told to, type something. I don't care what you type. The lady said, just type something. Well, to me, typing anything like ABCs 1, 2, 3s was just not enough for me. It was I would be bored doing it. So I came up with the book, and it was a really good book. It's about a lady named Sandra who has everything. She has the career, she has the husband, she has everything. She's been married for like 7 years, but she doesn't have the laughter of children. And the way she goes about getting the laughter of children is, well, it plays the I'm not trying to say.
Rewind. We gotta rewind, buddy.
It plays on temptation, it plays on betrayal, and it plays on loyalty.
Right.
Betrayal and loyalty in the same sentence. How does that work?
Betrayal of her husband, betrayal of her best friend. Loyalty is like when loyalty towards her friend and to her husband. I mean, you know, she just does everything wrong in the sense of it. And and she trying to get a baby is just, you know, I'm trying to find
Right. But so let me ask you this question. We're talking about today is National Chocolate Chip Day, and you talk about in your summary that one bite of chocolate is never enough, huh? Why you look at me like that? I'm just going by what you said.
Yeah, so about that. So it just entices you.
Yeah, it entices you, and one bite of chocolate is like when she goes off to, I would say, she has an affair. When she goes off to have an affair, the one bite of chocolate, she just cannot resist taking that piece of chocolate. She has to go back for more and more until she finally comes up with what she's been wanting for.
There's some light skinned chocolate over there. That's that chocolate right there. Hey, the book is called Cross Lines. How can we get a copy of that, Miss Jessica?
You can get a copy of it on my website at Jessica R. Cross, and also on my social media. You can reach me at IamJessicaRCross.com.
There you go.
Right. So about that, that's the website.
That's the website.
Hey, when we come back, we're gonna talk with Mr. Fletcher. We're gonna talk about that resisting the temptation of that chocolate. What messes us up. Hey, we got more. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Wake up.
We have a caller on the line. I don't know. She said that the YouTube the sound wasn't working, so I just took it out.
So what was happening is,
Okay.
I think when you turned the mics off, you couldn't hear anything.
Hello?
Just put on speaker.
Yeah, okay, hold on 1 second. What they were saying is like maybe when the mics are off that you can't hear something.
Or was it the whole time?
No, she can't hear. It's probably.
Well,
when I was riding in, I couldn't
Okay,
hear
so
either.
hold on.
Anything at all?
No, nothing at all. Zero.
On the YouTube?
I think it's when the
Yeah,
mics
YouTube.
when the mics are off.
I'll fix it.
Is she talking? No, bring her on.
Good morning. Hi, Aisha.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing great. How are you, Miss Sisters in Business Expo?
I'm doing well, cannot complain.
I was going to say, so talk to us a little bit about Sisters in Business Expo.
Sure. So the Sisters in Business Expo is a small business expo created specifically to celebrate the accomplishments of entrepreneurial women of color. The expo was birthed out of the vision and the fact that a couple of years ago, Forbes came out with this article and everybody else picked it up, that women of color are the largest and fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs in the country. But what they did not mention is that while we are the fastest growing, we're the least earning. And so, that is a problem. It's great to have a lot of businesses, but it's not great if those businesses aren't making any money.
Right.
And so we wanted to create a platform that would allow women of color to showcase, grow, and expand their businesses in an affordable and accessible way. And so we have Sisters in Business.
I was gonna say, so I noticed that you guys have already done one of the business expos, and you have 3 more that are scheduled for the rest of this year. How did you figure that out as far as the cities and the timing of when you were gonna do them?
Yeah. So we kicked it off in Newark, New Jersey, with our launch back on April 14th. And from the beginning, we knew we wanted to be a multi-city event and expo because this is something that's needed, across the country and not just in one particular place. So while it was a large undertaking, we knew that it was something that was necessary. Just a matter of research, doing a lot of discussion and study on different areas, cities, that had a population, a decent population of women of color entrepreneurs, and just based on relationship building. So did about a year of planning, researching, and ultimately decided on Newark, New Jersey for our launch. Then we'll be in Philadelphia on July 14th. Columbia, South Carolina on August 11th, and then Wright and ATL on October 13th.
ATL, Shout It, and Aisha, for those that want to get more information, where do they go?
They're going to go to our website, which is sistersinbusinessexpo.com, and sisters is spelled SISTAHS, inbusinessexpo.com. They can also follow us on all of our social media, which is at SIB Expo on Instagram, Twitter, and at Sisters in Business Expo on Facebook.
Well, we appreciate
We'll see you in
Aisha.
October, Aisha.
Yes, sir. We knew she was going to spell it that way, by the way. Thank you, Aisha. Hey, we got an awesome show. Got a bunch of people hanging out with us. LaTonya Turner is in the building. Author Jessica is in the building. And, of course, my girl, Erica Wright of You First. Erica, what can we do to help you out, sis? What you need?
We need you. You First is getting ready to take a trip cross country, spreading love with our homeless community from Atlanta to California. We need washcloths. We need toothbrushes. We need travel size toothpaste and travel size soap. You can follow us on Facebook, Project You First. That's a group. We have a like page, You First, GoFundMe page, JR4JP8, and PayPal is projectyouFirst@gmail.com. We cannot do this without you.
Come on, run us these coins.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Erica. All right, get off. Is she the first one to take over the mic? No. I think the now later head girl.
Did you say now later head?
Yeah. I think she did that too. Hey, shout out to Miss LaTonya Turner. LaTonya, we talk about your book. You mentioned believe in yourself so others believe in you too. But it all starts with an idea. You gotta have an idea, and that's the first chapter. Talk about having that idea.
When I created this book, I had an idea that I wanted to go in collection because that was my first job after college was collecting money. So I said, well, let me just see how I can just take this and run with it. Well, when I just met this little old lady on the phone and she just broke my heart and said, baby, I don't have no money to pay that American Express bill. So I had to come up with another idea, and that's what I did. I said, let me create a business where I can help people. I can help people understand their mortgage, and help people understand their insurance, and help build a business. So that's how I built my business, with an idea.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Your startup business success guide, author LaTonya L. Turner. For people that want to grab a copy of your book today, what do they do?
They can go on my website at www.e3cfirm.com.
That's what I'm talking about. And Eddie, you owe me $5 because I told you she was going to say www. I told you she was. I told you. That's exactly what
Just say www.
I can't wait to bring Jessica back up so she can say hers from Alabama. Imagine what that would sound like. Author Daryl Fletcher speaks, man. Daryl Fletcher, all of these amazing sisters in the building with us. Authors, independents, they're doing their thing, man. Brothers ought to be scared of these type of women, won't they?
Nah, they don't need to be scared because women are designed to support. So it's important, and support is not a bad thing. It's being support by you taking care of, or you support by just taking care of a man. This is the thing of completion. And so a screw and a nut are different, but when they're put together, they can accomplish a lot of things. And so with a man and women, men and women are different, and we both have different roles, we both have different assignments. And so a man should never be intimidated by a woman who is independent. He should honor her and say, you know what, I like the way you think, I like the way you do business, or whatever the case may be. Because where I lack, she may be good, and where she lacks, I may be good. And so the point is to complement each other so we can grow further together.
Daryl Fletcher Speaks. DarylFletcherSpeaks.com is the website. Don't go nowhere because I want you to tell people some of the events that you got coming up. You got some cool workshops coming up. Hey, Jessica, you don't have to tell the website again, but you really do got to. But talking about your story in your book, who is your book for?
My book is for anyone that's
It
married.
ain't gonna bite you.
Okay. Anyone who's married, anyone who has relationship issues, and also it's for single women too as well, because there's a character in there named Camille who is a single mother.
What's the name of the book?
The name of the book is called Cross Lines: What Lies Buried Within the Heart.
What's that website though?
www.jessicarcross.com.
Yes, don't get the hard because people just like, get the A. Michael's
Hey, before we get up out of here, Mr. Daryl Fletcher, and second of all, thank you very much, guys. Today's show is being brought to you by Mr. Daryl Fletcher. Take DarylFletcherSpeaks.com is the website. Check out his work. He drops some knowledge on us every week that he is hanging out with us on the show. And you got some workshops coming up. People can come see you live and in person.
Yeah, I have a workshop on the 22nd of May where I'll be teaching people how to turn your no into yes. And so when you're dealing with certain type of people, when you're dealing with your family, relationships, business, how to create that empathy bridge to turn those no into yeses. I'll be also doing a live webinar tomorrow talking about how to find more speaking gigs for people who are in the arena of saying, hey, I need to find more stages to get on, find more places to speak. I'll also be teaching an online webinar about that. And they can go to my website, DarylFletcherSpeaks.com, in order to get more information about those upcoming events.
Hey guys, you see how he didn't say W. He said Daryl Fletcher Speaks. That's the website.
Look, I'm just trying to help people out.
Hey, before we get out of here, I told you that I had this dehydration test, right? It's a 3-second pinch test which can tell you whether or not you're dehydrated. And it's so simple that you can do it anywhere. Now, pinch your skin on one of the 3 places with your 2 fingers. You can do it on the top of your hand, you can do it on your chest, underneath your collarbone, or you can do it on your abdomen. Now, after holding the skin in place for 3 seconds, release it and see if the skin bounces back to normal. Now, if the skin elasticity snaps back to normal, that means that you're very well hydrated. Now, if it takes slightly longer to go back, then you're dehydrated. Now, health experts shared their tips on how you can easily hydrate yourself with the pinch skin test. So that's all you gotta do is just pinch the skin, hold it for 3 seconds, and let it go and see what happens. I thought I was hydrated, but I guess I'm not because mine's still stuck in that same place.
And you're a little dry too.
Yeah.
Tasha, get it together,
Daryl. All this stuff I'm going to come up with next week before you get here. Hey, DarylFletcherSpeaks.com is the website. Thank you, brother, as always. We really appreciate it. LaTonya Turner, check out her book, Your Startup Business Success Guide. Jessica Aura Cross. You can check her out too. Visit her website, JessicaRCross.com. And of course, our family and Erica Wright.
Come on, you
is in the
first.
building. We really appreciate you and everything that you do, Erica.
Amen.
Hey, if you guys miss any of today's show, it's very simple. Just go to the website. The website is michaelandjoy.com, or you can visit power1089.com. Either way, you'll get to see all these beautiful people in here. Tomorrow is Wednesday. That's hump day. Brian Showbear will be here in the building, and is Tony Terry tomorrow?
No, that's Thursday.
Oh, Tony Terry gonna be here. When I'm with you, what I feel when I'm with you. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Your son really wants you, boy, girl.
I'm so sorry about
He
you.
wouldn't even be calling. Oh, it's all good.
She didn't say that like.
Well, I mean, because I don't necessarily know what happened.
Okay,
So,
so-
we'll figure it out. I'm not
Definitely.
going to trip out about it,
Definitely.
Okay,
LaWanda.
no
I do
worries.
some testing.
Hey, FB Studios, here you go, Daryl.
Thank you, Ellen.
What up, Fabian?
All
Alright,
right,
y'all.
see you guys in
Read that, oh, Fabian, what up, Fabian?
Yes. What
You remember
happened?
I remember Fabian. I was.
Oh, the lights.
Yeah.
The
Come
lights
on.
back in the
I was
day.
gonna say,
FB
let's
Studio.
figure it
I
out.
checked that
Let's
Instagram.
get it together.
He is killing it, ain't he?
All right,
He is awesome.
guys. Have a
He
great
has an
day.
eye for what he
See you
does, for
later.
sure.
Bye.
Definitely. I just want to be on one of the sets though.
I was gonna say from the top of my head to
What's
the
up?
soles of my feet, I ask that God watch over you, keep you, protect you, expand your territory and your capacity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Bye,
We'll do some
guys.
drops real quick, okay?
this is, y'all gonna do a couple of drops. Like Michael and Joel.
In my back.
Michael.
Do me a favor, Erica, can you